Hi, everybody, and welcome to Help I'm an Adult podcast. This month, we are celebrating the month of love. It's February, so Valentine's Day is coming up. But she's single as ever. But I'm using it to celebrate the people that I love and invite them over to come have a chat. And just so you guys, it's kind of the month where I open up to you through the people that I love. So this week has been all about my best friends. On Wednesday, I posted a video on the channel and just seeing how much my best friend knew about me. Quite a fun one, so go check it out if you haven't. But today on the podcast, we're just having a chat and just discussing how we became friends. And I have 3 best friends, and also how they kind of became friends. But you find out all about that as the episode goes along. So, but before I go on as well, if you haven't yet, or if you're listening on audio or watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the podcast and to the channel respectively, and give the rate wherever you are by giving a thumbs up or by rating if you listen on audio, and also comment, and I'll be sure to respond and just get your message and keep interacting with me. And yeah, so let's get into today's podcast episode, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. Why don't you guys begin by introducing yourself? Like I said, so start with Tan. Tell people who you are, and welcome to the podcast for the very first time. After what?
Sharon, thank you. I'm Tan. So I've known Sharon for too long. I'm joking. 3.5 years nearly. Is it been? Yeah, it's been nearly 3.5 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where did we meet? We met at work, and also that's where I've met Tino as well, and met Caroline through Sharon. So, yeah, you'll hear more about me as we talk about it. Really.
Yep, and Caroline.
Sharon more, but sometimes we might talk about me.
I'm Caroline, and I've known Sharon for, I think 7 years now. I think 6 or 7 years. I think it was first year of uni, so that'll be 2013. We met at basketball. Yeah. And I've known Tino pretty much the same amount of time as well. I think it was in basketball as well. And known Tan through Sharon.
Yeah, so I'm Tino. I have known Sharon for exactly the same amount of time as Caroline. We met Sharon at basketball. I met her at the careers fair, I think it was, after the netball girls threw a ball at my head, and I decided that netball's for devils, so I joined basketball instead. Yeah. and then back to netball because, I like to suffer and stuff. So yeah, that's great. I met Tan at where I used to work, which is where Sharon worked. And he's a character that I know. Yeah, that's pretty much my story. There's a love affair here that we're not talking about on camera, but yeah, it's great.
Lord. Oh God. So this is our friendship group. This is basically, you're literally the 3 people I talk to the most, other than my family in the world, which I am very grateful to have you all in my life. But today's podcast episode is basically, since it's the month of love, it's February, I thought I'd celebrate the people that I love and talk to the people that I love on the podcast, which is starting with my best friends, which is you guys. And just to basically just maybe have you guys say how much you love me, just saying, but not predominantly that. But also I kind of like the friendship that you guys have with each other, thanks to me, obviously. And
Caroline by myself, but okay.
I was waiting for that comment, but so I just wanted to ask first. I think the first question I'll ask is what, other than what about our friendship have you enjoyed so far? What is it about our friendship that you enjoy, and why are we friends? Oh, thanks, guys. The silence is very telling. Thank you so much.
Being polite and letting others speak first. Yeah.
I guess I'll start. I guess with Sharon, I think she's such a genuine character. I think that's probably why I've kind of got to know her as well as I have as well. And we've obviously got along. Like, you know, it feels like I've known her longer than the 3 and a bit years that I've worked at where I do work at the moment. But no, it's you know, it's been fun. Like we've it's like we've shared a journey together. I guess it was our first ever proper careers for both of us as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, you know, we've kind of grown together as well.
We've literally we've been like going career-wise. We've just been parallel to each other the whole way.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's good. And it's good to see both of us develop as well.
Yeah.
And without losing, I guess without losing, like, you know, ourselves as well. Like, you know, it was nice. And obviously, I guess being part of each other's journey has obviously helped as well. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, the friendship as well. It's obviously, can't really complain that.
Oh,
Sharon's all right.
that's never praised me so much. Yes. Yeah, I would say I love Tan. Tan is literally like, he is my best friend. And if he's very much like, he's always, I am a genuine person. I definitely think that. But sometimes Tan is like, Sharon, at work, you can't be too serious. Like, you need to actually smile once in a while. You should not have your West Indies face showing all the time. Or it's like, oh, I pick up the phone and because it's him, so I'm always casual on the phone with you, and I'm like, hello. And he's like, well, yo, why are you angry? And I'm like, I'm not. You're familiar. And Tan always has a go, but I know it's out of love. It's fine. I understand. And yeah, it's been a good friendship. Good 3.5 years. Well, hopefully it lasts a lifetime. He just became a best friend so quickly. It felt natural. And here we are 3.5 years later. So I know on the podcast, like season 1, when this all began, Caroline and Tino, they were on an episode. I think it's the episode called Becoming Me or something like that. I can't remember what it's called.
I think I remember that one, yeah.
And I remember we're at Caroline's and we're having a glass of wine and we're just having a good old chat about our life at uni.
I need to find that. I was looking through my photos the other day and I saw the one where we took like a selfie and we all had like wine in our hands. Really cute.
Yeah, so you guys will probably have met Caroline from that, and Tino has been on here, 2, 4, 3? I can't count. I feel like every season you've been here, so yeah, Tino's been here as well.
Like a booger that won't leave, like a really annoying thing.
You're a regular, but...
Yeah. But I don't think we ever discussed how we actually like became friends.
I'm just continuing on what Tan was saying. Basically, where we were talking about things that we love about the friendship that we have. And one of the things I love about Sharon is that we're always real with each other. And that's where the friendship started. It wasn't anything artificial. It was bonding over something so silly.
It actually was.
Silly. Let's say a book. Bonding over a book, basically. And yeah, our relationship stemmed from there, and we started watching like loads of TV together. We'd have days where we just like lie in bed and just watch Scandal, watch Grey's Anatomy, and like in bed, like just lying there. She'll come in like, yeah, and then we'd sit and then we'd just have wine and watch TV. And even to this day, that hasn't changed, except for the fact that obviously there's no alcohol and whatnot and whatever, but we still have those moments where we can just sit, bond, and just enjoy each other's company.
That's basically us. I remember when we lived together, we had literally like a week or 2 weeks where we just watched Scandal, and we had like a glass of red wine, we had popcorn, there was food, which I cooked most of the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was us. And then I'd come to Tina's room and she's like, I'm watching Grey's. I'm like, cool. And I remember watching Grey's till like the plane episode, for anybody who doesn't know. And I've never watched since then.
Oh, Caroline, thank you.
I love Grey's Anatomy.
But yeah, so that's how we bonded. How myself and Caroline bonded, I believe it was when you fully became VP, vice chair, and we literally were like inseparable.
Yeah, I think it was. I remember the first time I spoke to you was at the sports fair at uni, and I remember you were so stressed out. And I was like, I really want to join the basketball team.
I feel like I'm still always stressed out. Tan will testify to this.
100%.
Yeah, and I think it was like, I think it was when I volunteered to be vice chair. I still remember like putting my hand up on that day, and you were like, right, it's Caroline. And then we just worked together from then onwards.
Yeah.
And then
A beautiful friendship.
yeah.
It's been a beautiful friendship. And like I've said this like 1,000 times, I'm so grateful to have you guys in my life. Like 100%. I cannot even imagine, number one, going through a time like this, freaking COVID, without like having you guys to either rant to or have you rant to me. I'm not gonna lie, like having you guys like come to me. Well, Tan doesn't rant to me; he just listens to my rants. But
I have ranted to you.
I've also ranted to Tan about him not ranting to me. So
That's a special.
So that is that. But like sometimes I like, as much as I love like being involved in my best friends' lives and like knowing what's going on, and I'm grateful that you guys also appreciate and like call me about stuff, and I can also call you about stuff. So thank you. I guess in terms of the friendship, love, and all of that stuff, why do you think like you guys amongst yourselves, especially like Tan meeting the girls, because you're kind of the odd one in the situation, you meeting the girls, how did you like, what made you guys bond basically?
You know what, I think it was just good vibes, isn't it? Like everyone,
Are you lying, Tan?
Good vibes.
No, so Tino, when did we properly first meet though?
We met at CAP. I was a buddy or something like that. It's like Ahmed's buddy or something like that. And
yeah, you were.
And I showed you guys around, and I sat with you guys, and I'd be avoiding work, sitting with you guys, like just messing about. And me and Tan had this like rapport that just like bounced off each other.
Yeah.
It was something special, I have to say.
It was like, you know what? I think what one thing Sharon said is like so true. Like she always says to me, how are all my friends are like each other, but I'm so different. Like they're also outgoing, but you are outgoing though, Shaz. But I can see where you're coming from. Like we are so, like we all just end up talking. You know what I mean? Like we can probably talk for Britain, all of us. Caroline, don't laugh because I've seen you talk.
Yes.
He's staying very quiet now.
After you don't use that, Caroline don't shut her mouth at times, man. Jeez.
When she's
I'm a changed woman.
And then now, you know what? Even Tina, like when I met her, like she was full on, like, you know, happy, and that's the kind of people I want to be around, because you never know what's going to happen, like, you know, in life. So you just want to kind of be around people that are kind of positive and just, you know, keep the morale up. And yeah, like I guess we all kind of shared that same kind of principles in life as well, so it helped for sure.
Yeah.
Like I remember you were Tino was Ahmed's buddy, but obviously I knew Tino, so I was like, she's technically my buddy, but sure, no problem.
Yeah, that was. Why were we not put as a buddy together, if that makes sense?
I know. And in my induction, I've said this a million, like at work, I was not trying to like vibe with anybody. And Tina was like, you need to make friends. Yeah. You need to make friends. But apparently now Tan tells me I was very dismissive of him when I first met him. So Tan, do you want to explain what it is that what I apparently said that made you feel like I was being a...
Do you really want me to tell everyone?
Got the drama.
Oh, how did it go? Because Tina was there as well, I remember. And she basically, I don't know who she was aiming at, but she was like, if you get on my wrong side, like, you know. And I'm like, okay.
But like,
then, yeah,
we were talking about something, and I probably said it in like I'm just this kind of person, like if you annoy me and get on my wrong side, we ain't getting that's it. And Tan took it very personal, because apparently I was looking at him when I said it. I don't remember this happening whatsoever. So every single time now, Tan is like, look, you didn't even want to be my friend. And I'm just like, come on, dude. Like, I did not think of it that way. But anyway. But I remember talking to Tino on the side, being like, I feel like Tan would make a good like guy friend. Like, he just seems like a chill dude. And like I found it so because Tina was very like interact. Again, all of you guys can talk to strangers like any day, anytime. I can't. But but like Tina was so like easy to she just interacted so easily with Tan. And so when I was there, I was like, well, I can't just sit here, be quiet. So here we go. And that's how we interacted. And then Tan became a part of my life. And that's how that bonding happened. But I also know Tan and Caroline met at my 25th birthday. That was a blast. Woo!
I think it was, I actually think it was the birthday before in London.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, it was.
I was thinking about this. Because I'm pretty sure we were talking about how we both had a German passport.
Yeah.
And I could not get over that. I was like,
you look German, I don't, but you know.
But yeah, I think we were like walking, we were trying to find a tube station or something. We were literally like,
I remember this. Oh yeah, it was my 24th. I remember now.
The Central London one.
And all Caroline was like, I have a city mapper. And I'm like,
oh, jokes.
That was a good. Oh, I forgot it was that.
Yeah. I remembered that.
Ah,
as well.
Wow, that feels like a lifetime ago in my mind. That's literally how. Wow, but yeah, that is how you met. But that was one night, and then you properly like met on the 25th again.
25th,
my 25th,
yeah, sure.
A year later. But so why do you think you guys like? Again, it was good vibes on the day, like Tan said. It was a good birthday.
Yeah,
I think it's just like we all said, we all have similar. I don't know, all our personalities just click. Like we all have similar ways that we like connect with other people. And I just trust that like any of you guys, like your friends, if you were to introduce them, like I reckon we'd all get along. I don't know. It just works.
Yeah.
Because we know what we look for as well, so we can probably assume that anyone that we kind of bring in, they'll probably have the same kind of vibe. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, like when you had your 25th, Sharon, and you had like all these people I'd like never met before, but I was like not worried at all because I was like, well, they're your friends, so I'm so sure that because they're your friends, they're like sound people.
Oh,
and for you to accept people as friends, Sharon, it's a big thing,
It's a big thing, yeah. I felt honored, in second year. I remember when I was like, oh my gosh, Sharon wants to be my friend. I was like,
that was a thing. What?
Yeah, I never said it. I never said it out loud, but I remember being like a little bit scared in first year. I was like, oh gosh, like I don't know if Sharon likes me or not. And then like in second year,
I think there's a rest in B face. I get it, Tan. I will try to smile more.
I don't lie.
Yeah.
Oh,
but yeah, second year, I just remember like I was like, oh, Sharon actually likes me. We're gonna be friends, and then we like worked together. I was like, oh my gosh, we're friends.
We're friends.
Yeah.
I think with Caroline, I remember. I think it was after that year. Was it after that year? Yeah, and then I wasn't chair anymore, but then you became chair. But then I was like, I'd be advisor to the committee because I didn't want to leave anything. Like it was final year and I was trying to like not do too much. But at the same time, I did not want to not do too much.
Oh gosh, it was my final year as well. I just remembered.
And I remember, I think it was over the summer and I was like, oh my gosh, I started working out again. And you were in Singapore at the time. And I was like, I started working out and like, I'm enjoying this. Do you want to join the gym with me? And we're like, and I was like, oh, maybe I just want to do classes, but I don't know if they offer classes. And we like had a whole conversation about this over the summer. And then come September, we're like, okay, let's do this. And I remember everyone like, we want to try this class and try this class and try this class. We tried every class we wanted except spin because every time we showed up, it just looked
we were like,
we're like, not happening. We're not doing it. And yeah, we became gym buddies, and like that's been honestly that whole year, and going to Spain together as well and organizing all of that.
Spain.
That whole trip was personally, honestly, I actually enjoy it because number one, I was my fittest that I've ever been. I don't think I've ever been that fit, and since then I've not been that fit either. And secondly, like it was just my first proper like holiday with friends. So it just
All the
felt,
memories are like coming back to me now.
it was really good. I enjoyed the trip. Yeah. So I like the fact that, like, again, you guys get along, and thanks for like hyping me up in terms of the kind of friends I have. One thing all you three have in common, like I think I've said it to all of you guys, is like your ability to just kind of like insert yourself, and like if you find yourself in a room with strangers, I feel you're very confident to go speak to those people, whereas I just be like, I'm gonna be here with my headphones in and not interact. And I've been around you guys, I don't know if I've not really been in a situation like that, but I would like to think that I will find it easier to kind of talk to somebody if I was in a strange, if I was in like said situation. But obviously, like, you guys getting along always makes me happy, because when I want to, like, if I'm talking to Tan and I'm like, oh, Caroline, when you talk to your friends, to other friends about other people but that they don't know, it's like, oh, you don't get it. Like, it doesn't make sense. But with you guys, I'm like, oh, Caroline's doing this, or Tino's doing this, or Tan's doing that, you're like, oh, and like you get it, you kind of understand the concept, and it works perfectly for me anyway. And you guys always ask about each other, which is cute. I never really tell you guys that you do that, but you do.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so cute, you guys.
I'm like,
Bad friend, Sharon. You know what, guys? Should we just be friends instead?
Should we just cut Sharon out and just
Sharon.
Okay,
Maybe
bye.
my
I'll see you
podcast
guys
for
later.
that.
See ya. Bye. But yeah, I like that about us, and I love you guys. You guys are like the best people I could have in my life. Okay, so you guys have said why you're friends with me. This is why I'm friends with you. First and foremost, I'll do it in order of like best how we became friends. So Tino, we bonded over a book, but like you're the first person I met that I felt more like, wow, like you basically felt like my sister, even though I do have a sister, but like, you know what I mean? Like in the uni concept, I was like, oh, somebody I can finally relate to amongst like on every level, even though I was still friends with, obviously I was friends with the other girls on the team, and those like basketball friends were literally my uni friends. But like with you, it felt like, yes, somebody, she gets it. Like I could relate to you on the sisterhood level, being like black people level, on the, even though sometimes we felt like we were the Oreos
Oh,
sometimes,
oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
or as Tando like to call me, coconut. But
Did you ever get that one?
but yeah, it just felt right, and that's how, like, I think that's why we've clicked. And like you said, when we, like, our honesty is sometimes annoying because we never want to hear it. And there's sometimes when we're trying to be like, okay, she probably doesn't want to hear the honesty, and but at the same time she's like, I just gotta say it. You just have to say it because that's who we are. And with Caroline, literally, I think like Caroline is myself if I was calm. If I was not like so like all over the place. When I say calm, I feel like my mind is always doing stuff. And like Caroline is like the calm in the storm for me. She's very like, your organization is on point. Like I've said this, whenever the house comes, me and Caroline are decorating that house to a T. Like she knows, she's basically my like zen in the in this, like, just in life. And I enjoy that. And also, like, I also loved, I think the moment where I was like, oh, I think like this is super mutual. I think it was something happened. It was basketball related, obviously, because that's when it all started. But I think it was a birthday or something was coming up, and I was feeling like extra stressed. And Caroline just came over and was like, oh, do you need help? She just offered help for, like, I didn't expect anybody to offer help. And she just offered, and I was like, okay. And then she did it the way I would have done it. And I was like, yes.
Oh my gosh, when was that?
I can't remember what it was, but it was something to do with basketball, and like there was
social
stress. Yeah. And I was just, and Caroline just did it the way I would have done it. And I was like, she's my people. That's my people. I like that. And like we've had so many talks, deep talks, and like just been through, I feel like we've had a major ups and downs in terms of like within each other's lives that we've been a part of. And I truly appreciate you for that. Like, I can't even say how much I appreciate that.
I appreciate you so much over the past few months. Like, you have no idea. Everything from like just talking on the phone to rearranging my bookshelf,
Oh yeah,
which,
that was fun.
by the way, is still as it is, as you've left it. I'm not changing it because I love it so much. But
Yeah.
just like everything, yeah. When I moved into my new place and like just needed someone to like help me just unpack because I was just not there.
No, that was fun. That was my practice round for when the real thing happens to me as well. But yeah, it was really fun. Like, again, Caroline is me, but a bit more zen. And then Tan. Tan is like the brother that is, I feel like you're almost like an older brother, but you're still not an older brother because I have told you you're sometimes childish. Sometimes. and, and like, I think our friendship is one of those that was just like, you're just somebody that you always make me smile. Even when I'm not in the mood to be like, oh, happy and jolly. Tan will say something or Tan will tease, but because I know he's teasing. And it will still make me smile, but I'll hate that it makes me smile because I'm just like, dang it. I just wanted to be mad for like 2 months. But it just did. And it became so easy to just talk to you about anything. Like all of you guys, to be fair, it's so easy to just be like, this is happening. What the heck? Speak to me. And you guys always share your mind. And sometimes, and like, Tandy's like my good male perspective. Even though sometimes I still don't listen to him because I feel like it's not all me sometimes. Or Tandy's just trying to be too much of a guy. And I'm like, no, cut it down.
You want the male perspective, you got to listen, Shaz.
It comes to a point where it's just like, okay, that's a bit too much for me.
Too male.
But it's always good to have the male perspective. I think I told Tino this as well. I was like, Tan would be a good friend just for like the male perspective of life generally. And she was like, yeah, this is why you should make friends. And I was like, okay. But yeah, that's basically our friendship and my friendship with you guys in a nutshell. And I'm glad that all of you get along. And hopefully people would see that reflected in this podcast episode. This one is just for me and for the fun of it. But that's it for the podcast. And we are done. Woo, woo, woo.